Hello, welcome back. It's week 2, and this week we're going to start with creating a project charter. One of the key assignments throughout the next 7 weeks is going to be utilizing a project that you've worked on either at home or at work. And with this project, it's going to carry us through the next 7 weeks. So get creative, have fun, think about a project that you've worked on and that you want to utilize throughout the rest of the term. Now, when we think about starting a project, last week we kicked our project off. There was an example of how I planned and executed a project for my son's 30th birthday. This time, it's your turn to really do the same thing, but we're going to do it in small incremental steps. So first and foremost, you might be asking, what is a project charter? In short, a project charter is really a short document that explains at a high level from a management perspective what the project is going to entail. Starting with, what are the goals? If you think about a home project, perhaps you're going to use your example of painting a bedroom. In your goal of the project, you wanted to turn a current bedroom from, let's say, creamy white to a gray color or a gray tone. So with that was your goal. Think about, what are the tasks that you need to do? Well, you need to measure for how much paint you need. You might need to tape off certain parts of the woodwork. You might need to tape off any light fixtures that might be either hanging on the walls or hanging on the ceiling. You also want to create a timeline. How long is it going to take you to paint that bedroom? Is it a couple hours over a weekend? Or are you going to add a mural to the room to make it even more interesting or more intricate? And then, who are your stakeholders? Who are the people that are involved? Is it you live by yourself? Is it you have a roommate or a spouse, a family member that might be involved in the painting of the bedroom project? All of these things are essential to your project charter. This is outlined in the PMBOK guide and other best practices within project management. And of course, the PMBOK guide being the project management body of work. We'll reference that a number of times over the next 7 weeks. And so other key information that might be in your charter will be your budget. How much do you plan to spend? What are the key milestones within your timeline? What other information might you want to provide? And as the project charter is approved by leaders within the organization, it's the authorization to actually start the project. In this assignment, you can utilize any type of project charter template you might want. Here's a snippet of one that I think is pretty simple. It's the project title, when's it going to start, when's it going to end. You are the project sponsor, you are the project manager in this assignment. And then, who's the project sponsor? Is there somebody else that you're working on the project with? If it's you're going to paint a bedroom, is it a friend, a family member, a spouse? If you're using a work project as your example that you're going to follow throughout the term, who was your project sponsor at work? You don't have to use real names if you don't want to. And then the business need. Why are you doing the project? I want to paint my room. I want to freshen it up. I want to change the vibe. What's your project scope? My scope is just to paint a bedroom. It doesn't include a hallway or the entryway. You want to be mindful not to have scope creep within your project. What are your deliverables? You're going to deliver on the project. You're going to complete the painting of the room, and you're going to change it from one color to another. Be specific. What are the risks and issues of painting the room? Well, you don't have the time to do it. You measured the room for paint and it's much larger than you anticipated. You don't have the supplies. You need to invest more money in your project in order to buy the tape, the paper, the rollers, the pan that the paint goes into. What else? What are the assumptions and dependencies? I really want to do this by myself, but I need a ladder. I don't have one. I need to spend more money in order to get a ladder. Or an assumption is I'm going to be really good at cutting in those corners. If you've ever painted a room, are you good at cutting in corners, like at the top of the wall, right where it meets the ceiling? I'm not. So I have an assumption that I'm going to have somebody on my team that's going to be good at that. Your financials, what's your project budget? Your milestones, like I mentioned, it's different than your deliverables. Deliverables are high level, want to paint a room, but my milestones is I'm gonna measure and have my details of how much paint I need by June 15th. By June 30th, I'm gonna have created my detailed budget and know exactly what I need to buy. And so those are your details of your completion dates or your milestone dates, and those are your estimates. And then as you move through the project, what are your actual dates? A project charter is not a one and done document. It is a living and breathing document. And then who's on your project team? You're the project manager, yet who else is involved? Do you have other team members that are going to help you paint? And are there other people involved? And then who do you need to get the approval from? Like I mentioned, your project sponsor needs to approve, but are there others? Or is it just the project sponsor and yourself? This is just a snippet of a project charter. There's lots of different templates online. Use one that works best for you. And just to recap the assignment, so create a project charter based on a project you have been involved with, either at home or at work. It could even be, when I say home, can even be so much as if you are working on a nonprofit, or if you have been working. I didn't get that. Worked on a nonprofit. My examples: home projects, paint a room, a laundry room remodel, a landscape project. Work, something you've been involved with in work that has taken a period of time that you can capture the details of a project charter with. And we're going to use the same project throughout the remainder of the semester. So ensure that it's something you can really dig deep into and provide a lot of insights into. So as always, I say be creative, have fun. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out, and we will talk to you soon. Have a great day.